Hello everyone, this is Terra from Library Nerd VSG. I realized in my first video that I didn't really tell you much about myself. So first off, I'll start off with my numbers. My highest weight was 270 pounds, and my current weight is 257 pounds. There's a gain of 2 pounds from last week, which I don't know where to relate it to. My age is 26 years old, and my height is 5'7". I'm a library clerk at the University Library in Mid-Hudson Valley, and I actually just got promoted a week ago to office manager, so I'm really excited about that. Yay! I'm also taking classes to complete my library science degree with University of Buffalo. Doing an online program with them, so I don't have to drive all the way up there and then all the way back. But it's a really great program and lets me learn when I need to, and take it kind of steady and slow. I'm in my first year. Well, I finished my first year actually, and I'm into my second, so I should be done by December of 2015. All fingers crossed. I did want to tell you a little bit more about my medical history. I have two medical conditions which have led to other medical conditions. My first is Polycystic Ovary Syndrome, or PCOS, which is basically a condition which has you have enlarged ovaries, and they collect fluid called follicles, which can be seen on ultrasounds. What it also does is it collects sacs, or what they call cysts, around eggs, which don't allow them to break away and go off into the world to reproduce little babies. It's basically known as an infertility issue for childbearing women between the ages of 14 and 65. Or even less than that, actually. Sorry, I'm itchy. But I was diagnosed with it when I was 14, and I basically take birth control for it to control it. That was great to start off with, but it's kind of tickled off and gotten worse as I got older. And part of that was kind of miseducation. I wasn't specifically told that I had to be on a special diet when I was diagnosed or anything. They kind of were like, here's some birth control pills, be on your merry way, go to an endocrinologist to talk about the other things. And I was like, okay, so I did. And I went to endocrinologist, and they tested me, and they saw that I had a hypo, which is an underactive thyroid. And they put me on Synthroid and slowly figured out what my levels were to medicate me. So that I keep up to date with, and I go every 3 months. But neither my, gynecologist or my endocrinologist were like, you got both, you should be on a special diet. And I wasn't until, much later that I did my own research and basically found out that I should be on a low-carb, high-protein diet to kind of help things out. For those of you who don't know, Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome symptoms include irregular periods, excess androgen, which is a male hormone, which can lead to facial hair, body hair, adult acne, and thinning regular hair. So all this wonderfulness. It also causes dark skin spots, and insulin resistance and high cholesterol. In the long run, it can also cause uterine cancer, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, strokes, sleep apnea, fatty liver disease, autoimmune thyroiditis, miscarriage, depression, and anxiety. And I get most of those symptoms, the bare minimum, I get a lot. I have irregular periods. I have a lot of issues with facial hair, body hair, acne, dark skin. Let's just check off everything on that list, basically. Insulin intolerance, high cholesterol. I also have high blood pressure. I don't take medication for my high cholesterol and high blood pressure because I'm too young and they want me to deal with it on my own. But not really dealing. It's not like I eat red meat all the time. I'm mostly the chicken girl. So and I'm not really eating fatty foods either. So it's just kind of whatever my body wants me to do. I also have, because of everything and my weight, I have, sleep apnea, and I'm pre-diabetic. So I have those comorbidities on top of everything else. What I have been doing, like I mentioned, is a paleo diet, Paleolithic diet, which is high protein, and non-starchy vegetables for fiber. And basically no carbs, unless it's a non-starchy vegetable. So like carrots are a great source of fiber, but also carbs. No potatoes, no regular carbs. I try to stick to that as much as possible. Every once in a while, like I mentioned last time, I had tacos and I had the wheat tortilla, the flour tortilla. So it's like once or twice a week at this point. We'll have maybe like barbecue chicken, and I'll just barbecue like pulled barbecue chicken, and we'll eat it without the bun. And things like that. We try to be as conscious about it as possible. The Paleolithic diet also calls for you to not do dairy, grains, beans, peanuts, processed oils, refined sugars, salt, alcohol, and coffee. But God help me if you're going to take away my coffee, and God help me if you're going to take away my dairy, because I need two of those together to live, and I love my yogurt and I love my cheeses, but I do watch out for the sugar content, and I try not to go crazy with it, because it'll also contribute to the high cholesterol. So that's basically PCOS in a nutshell, and what I've been trying to do to regulate it. It's tough and hard. People call it, vanity because you have acne, you have facial hair, and that's no big deal. You can maintain it. And I was like, but it leads to all these other things. And at the end of the day, yes, it could be demoralizing and a vanity issue, but what parent wants their child, a 14-year-old girl, to be shaving their face? I don't know any parent that would want that for their child. Even now, my parents are like, it sucks. So, yeah. So I'm looking to VSG. It's basically not a solve-all, because I know it can't solve everything about PCOS, but I'm looking to it to help minimize my symptoms so that I can lose the weight, maybe get rid of the insulin intolerance, and help balance out, hormones that are going on in my body. I've seen a lot of people have different reactions to it, where they don't lose the weight as fast, or they lose the weight and everything, they go into what the doctors are calling remission from PCOS, where you still develop the cyst, but you're not developing so many symptoms, and you can still get pregnant on your own. But we'll see. I'm hoping for remission, but I'm very skeptical of it. I'm very uneasy. I'm not like, oh, this is going to solve all my problems. I'm more actually doubtful that it will. I'm scared that I'll do all of this work and put in all of this effort and nothing will happen. And that's the most terrifying thing I think we all kind of go through. But then, you look at Lessa Sarah, and you look at, so many of you guys that have lost all the weight and have been really healthy ever since, and, gotten really active in fitness and involved, not just in your own lives, but in everybody else in the community, and really helped us get through those doubts and work through the weight. And I thank you for that. sometimes I wish it would just happen so I could get on the happy train instead of doubting myself so much in my body, which I have no control over at this point. It's not my own. And I'm hoping that VSG puts it back into my hands. So we'll see. So that's all I got for tonight. For an update on how things are going, this week I don't have anything, but next week I have my endoscopy next week, and my pulmonologist next week for clearance for surgery. The first week of November I'll have my endocrinologist blood samples, and then at some point in November I'm going to do my sleep study and mental health clearance. Again, these are like all things that are required by my surgeon and not by my health insurance. My health insurance basically just requires me a 35 BMI or higher, which I admit the needs of. But it's good to know all these things before going into a human being, before cutting into things and figuring out nothing works. But I'm yammering, so I'm going to call it a night. I hope you guys have a great one. Bye.